Surprise, motherfucker. What's up? This is your friendly neighborhood Venture Satanist. I have an idea. It's kind of a proposal, I guess. And I wanted to share it with you. I think, I don't know, given the right circumstances, this could maybe be like a new type of crowdfunding thing. Or maybe it's more like one of those subscription services like Patreon or what's the other one? The one that I had for a while, and every time I try to do something like that, I get like 2.5 people after like 4 or 5 months, and it's just like I don't know, and then I get frustrated because I could be creating stuff for like a lot of people over here, but instead I feel like I'm catering to like a couple people over here, and I don't know. So yeah, Patreon and what's the other one? Locals or something. It's not OnlyFans, although some days that's tempting. Anyway, should I just get to cut to the chase? Got a little cheat sheet with some numbers here, but basically the idea is I thought it would be cool if there were Schultz illustrations, Schultz-based artwork made on a monthly basis by either one or a small handful of artists in the Corthalis family, making Schultz-based artwork, and that's not tied to a particular product. So what if you had like Monstark and I don't know, let's say two other artists that took turns, just every single month for say a year, they generate a new piece of artwork that belongs to the Chult franchise, belongs in the Chult metaverse, multiverse, and that I didn't have to pay for all by myself. You see, because if I wanted to do that, let's just take a standard. At least this was standard like a year ago. But if it's a recurring thing, I think we can get all the artists we need on board. Say $300 per piece of artwork. Um, so that's $300 a month. That's $3,600 a year. That's a lot of money for me to just like pour into cool artwork just because I want to have it around and being generated. Um, Without tying it to a particular project that I can then sell on drive-through or that I can crowdfund like on Kickstarter and get paid back for, reimbursed. But what if there were like two tiers? Um, the top tier, say for $25 a month, you could use that artwork commercially yourself, just as I could. And because I'm going to pick up, I'd be picking up the tab for the shortfall until we get like enough people. Um, and even if we had enough, I would either spend more money, I would either tip the artist or maybe, every 3 months there'd be like a bonus artwork that I would help pay for. Anyway, so at $25 that level, and these are just arbitrary numbers I came up with, you could also commercially use all of these images yourself for different products that were in some way maybe Chult related. There'd be like a special license or whatever that I would also create too for people that wanted to do that. And then there's two different options I wrote down. So if you got four of those, that would come out to $100 a month. The $25, so the top level. So the bottom tier, if you did it for $10 a month, we would need 20 people, and then that would come up with $200. So that would cover the rest of the cost. And then they could use the images non-commercially, and they could just, have them to use in their own game. Again, non-commercially. They could use them in blog posts and free PDFs, or they could just appreciate them, which would be nice. Just like, I'm going to appreciate the fact that artists are creating new things. It's what a game master does with his campaign world. Whereas a game master will sometimes find images like on the internet or in books or something like that, or maybe create their own. But a lot of it is just writing things down, taking notes, creating tables and all sorts of things. But it's nice to also have a visual element too, as in artwork. So yeah, $20, 20 people at $10 makes $200. If you have 20 people, because I figure it's going to be hard to get that many, but I think that's doable. So if you get 20 people at only $5, obviously that's a better value for everybody, especially if they're paying a sort of subscription fee every single month for a year for this. That's only $100. So I could pick up the tab for the other 100, which would only come out for me $1,200 a year. And then for that, I would have 12 new pieces of artwork, which would be cool. Because every once in a while, I'll see something and I'm like, oh, that'd be cool if it was like tweaked a little bit different and sort of a different aesthetic or different vibe artwork. More like an artist that I like to see work in. And I don't know. I have ideas, and so I would just be like, tell an artist like, oh yeah, I want something like this, except more tentacles, and I would give them a particular color scheme, stuff like that. So that's the idea I had, and it does. I mean, obviously I'm using it for Chult, but someone else with another IP, another franchise, could do the same thing. If Disney wanted to, they could. Obviously, the scale is much different. But if Disney wanted to, they could do it for Star Wars. And, but somewhat like a rival, not a rival, but what am I thinking of? Like a peer, like another person like me that has their own, like the Red Room or something like that, if they wanted to. Maybe they could implement something like this, and they could have actual artists. I know they use a lot of AI, which, they have to make money too, and cut costs where they can. Maybe they can hire artists, and they can have 12 new pieces a year, using kind of the same strategy. So it's not just for me. I think this would be cool for like dozens of creators to use, so they can keep building out visually their world or their campaign setting or their franchise or IP without eating all of the costs of extra artwork that's not generating an income for them. It's just cool to have. So anyway, that's the idea. In order to implement this, I don't know if I would just seek out individuals and work out something through PayPal, or use something like Kickstarter, like a crowdfunding. I would tweak the numbers to make it come out, or like one of the subscription services, like Patreon or something like that. I don't know how best to implement that, and I don't know if this is even an idea that people like. I thought it was cool, but maybe I don't know, maybe it's garbage. I'm not seeing it, or there's a better way out there. if there is, definitely let me know, because I would love to see more artwork for Chalt without, again, tying it to a specific product that I then have to find funding for or generate funding somehow. I'm not really making the sales on drive-through that I used to. So where I was sometimes making 900, 1,000, $1,200 a month, a few years ago, this is before the pandemic, like when I was doing Alpha Blue a lot and things like that, and Chalt was just getting started. But now I make like two, three, if it's a really good month, $400 a month on drive-through. So Kickstarter is still pretty decent, but if I create a product not using crowdfunding, not using Kickstarter, and just try to like sell a bunch of copies on drive-through, that's really hard for me to do these days, to recoup the costs that I put into a product, which is, again, is why I generally use a lot of AI artwork, because I just can't afford to pay artists what they are worth for tons of artwork, because it's just that's just so expensive. I mean, just right here, 12 pieces of artwork at $300. That's $3,600. If I released like a 40 or 50 page, let's say I released like a 40-page adventure, Chalt adventure on drive-through. It might take me, just trying to do some vague math in my head, I don't know, say 2 or 3 years, if I'm lucky, to recoup that $3,600, because I'm selling it at what, like $5 a PDF. So yeah, that would that's just not economically viable. But this is a different way. Yeah, I don't have a name for it, but the thing that I just described throughout this video, that just seems like a better way to do it. So I don't know. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if there's a better way out there. Talk to me, Goose. Let me know what's going on. I would love your feedback. Okay, that's it. Have a good one.